We've got an interesting contrast here between President Obama and Bernie Sanders. And it's highlighted by their approach to many different things. And it's in the news, all in the news today. So I thought it was a good moment here to show you guys the difference. So first off, President Obama was in talking to Democratic donors, and he acknowledged that, come on, let's keep it real. He thinks Hillary Clinton should be the nominee. He's always thought that. He said it in very clear ways in the past publicly by saying things like, well, we should have someone with a lot of experience in foreign policy who's going to take things gradually and be pragmatic. Okay, I'm like, yeah.
What does he mean?
Yeah, it's not hard to discern what you're trying to say.
He's just throwing a she. She should be
Who's
very experienced.
Exactly, right.
Who's the she, you think?
So, but the Hill reporting today, Obama acknowledged to the donors that Clinton suffers from a perceived lack of authenticity, and I love this part, but called it an overrated political virtue, the report said. That authenticity is an overrated political virtue.
Why is it overrated, Cenk? Do you know why he says it's overrated?
Because he doesn't have it, so he thinks, oh, it's not that big a deal.
Not only that, but because they went up against another politician who they considered to be authentic, George Bush, and people hated him. So it does that. That's what I heard, right? So because people thought he was authentic, don't worry about it.
So that's of course preposterous, and especially for younger voters, authenticity matters a tremendous amount. That's why Bernie Sanders has more young voters than Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump combined. So, but it gives you a mindset into Barack Obama. That's why we wanted to share it with you. And when asked, hey, it seems like he's kind of supporting Hillary Clinton here, Josh Earnest, the White House press secretary, said, now, we need to be mindful of the fact that our success in November in electing a Democratic president is dependent on the commitment and ability of the Democratic Party to come together behind our nominee. In other words, Bernie, get out, get out, get out. Okay? So, again, these tea leaves are not overly complicated. They're not that hard to read. We're not, breaking any news here. So now they're going to ask Bernie Sanders about that. Hey, should you get out of the race now? Here's his answer.
The bottom line is that when only half of the American people have participated in the political process, when some of the largest states in this country, people in those states have not yet been able to voice their opinion on who should be the Democratic nominee, I think it's absurd for anybody to suggest that those people not have a right to cast a vote.
Okay, so he's not buying it. He's saying half the people haven't voted yet, I'm going to stay in.
And he's correct.
That is technically correct. That's right.
That's every way possible correct.
Yes, that's also literally correct and correct. Okay. So now, here's the interesting part of that interview. Rachel Maddow asked him, hey, how about Merrick Garland, who's a center-right Supreme Court nominee? She doesn't frame it that way, right? But we know that he is, and so that's kind of an issue. We have a Democratic president who has picked a guy who we presume, is pro-choice, has some socially liberal positions, has ruled against out-of-control guns everywhere before. So, okay, the NRA's pissed at him. Good. But is very pro-corporate, very tough on crime, and has voted in speech now to have more money in politics, unlimited money in politics, okay? So that's, to me, obviously devastating. But now Bernie Sanders is in a bind because, remember, he's in a Democratic primary. He can't talk negatively against President Obama or his pick. Otherwise, people aren't going to be happy with that. Hillary Clinton keeps using that in the debates, like, are you with President Obama? You're not with President Obama, are you? I'm with President Obama. So what's Bernie going to do? Is he going to be a politician here and try to wiggle out of it? Let's watch.
Would you ask President Obama to withdraw that nomination in the lame duck so you could name your own nominee?
Yes, I would. And I think I'm 100% prepared to support Garland. I think he's clearly very knowledgeable and can serve ably on the Supreme Court. But between you and me, I think there are some more progressive judges out there. I have said over and over again that I do have a litmus test for a Supreme Court justice. And that litmus test is that justice must be loud and clear in telling us that he or she will vote to overturn this disastrous Citizens United Supreme Court decision. I am very worried about the future of American democracy and about the ability of billionaires to buy elections. That is my litmus test, and that's what I would insist on.
Boy, there right there is an enormous difference between Bernie Sanders and Barack Obama. Barack Obama would never say, I have a litmus test, right? That's impolitic. That's in Washington, that's frowned upon, right? And he comes out and goes, God damn right I got a litmus test. And then when I was first watching it, I was on pins and needles, right? Is it going to be Citizens United? Is he going to mention something else? And he's like, Citizens United. And this guy's most troublesome part is that he appears to agree with Citizens United. Now, I want to be fair. A lot of people say, no, he voted that way because he's in a lower court and he had to abide by the precedent of Citizens United, so we don't know what his real position is. Now, that's partly true, partly an excuse. There are many judges in the lower courts who go, no, Speech Now is different than Citizens United. Let me show you why I think this is a bad idea, or ruled other way. He didn't. He was like, here, Citizens United it is. And Speech Now actually amplified more money in politics, and he voted in that direction. So Bernie says, hell no.
I go to these Republican events and Ted Cruz town halls, and and you hear them all say about, the first thing they say, they wear T-shirts that say Hillary should be in jail, put him in jail. So they always talk tough, always. And liberals, again, it's why they have the reputation for being spineless and wimpy, because they never say stuff like that. Even though everyone knows it's the truth, they won't say it. And when a guy comes along and actually states a plain truth, it makes people rise to their feet. It's like, finally, someone's speaking truth to power inside of our political system, and he's not bought. And it just energizes people, because it's the idea of what America's all about: a government of the people, someone who's responsible to the people and not their donors, and not afraid of people who are anti-American. That's why he's still such passion in people, because he's exactly what America's about.
You know what? My only, and we talked about this earlier, like the reason that I support Hillary is because I love everything that Bernie says. But I go back to the election with John Kerry, where they started using the word liberal as a derogatory term. And I remember thinking to myself, what's wrong? Liberal people care for other people, and they want, they want to help people that are poor, help the poor. What's wrong with being liberal? But they made that word liberal they basically were saying communist. Yeah. And it's amazing how what you just said, the Republicans are very good at mobilizing their constituents, and a lot of that goes to Christianity, and if this person wins, they're godless, and
they're good on message.
They're good on message, and so they mobilize, and then they make a guy like John Kerry, who was a war hero. They make him come out as this pussy, and then the damage is done by the time they come back and go, no, he was not, he was on the boat and all this stuff. Damage is done. So that's my biggest worry with Bernie, is that I feel that they can mobilize harder against him than they can against Hillary. That's my biggest worry.
If that's the worry I get from everybody. But I'll tell you, the difference is what happens to the country since 2000. The country was much more conservative in 2000, especially the Democratic Party. It has switched. It used to be 29% of Democrats in 2000 considered themselves liberal. Now it's up to 46%. So that's a big jump. So there's a lot more people who aren't afraid of that word anymore. I think because, Barack Obama, they called him a liberal for 8 years. Everybody's like, everything's pretty good. We got health care, so I'm not so afraid of this liberal. And plus...
By the way, that's an argument a little bit for Barack Obama and his style, to have taken the punch out of the word liberal and said, see, it's totally fine.
And also, everyone has one of these. So you can look up, what does it mean? What is a liberal? What is a socialist? What is a democratic socialist? And people know. That's why I think people under 40 are going for Bernie like crazy, and the people older aren't, because they really don't know about this
Listen,
yet.
I agree with you 100%, but what scares me is seeing these people, the Trump supporters, and going, where did these people come from? And they just keep coming. Mm-hmm. And it's overwhelming.
Out of the woodwork, right?
Out of the woodwork. And then you go, wait a minute, because I travel San Francisco, LA, New York, San Francisco, major cities. I run into mostly people that might be...
Like-minded?
Left-minded, or they might be fiscal conservatives. But to see these other people, the guy who elbowed that guy at the rally, where the hell did that 76-year-old dude wearing a cowboy hat come from? They're out there.
Yeah, well, a lot of us don't. We don't often see it.
Yeah.
And don't kid yourself. There's lots of racism in big cities. Mm-hmm. Lots and lots of racism in big cities. I come from Chicago. I grew up on the south side of Chicago. Lots of racism in Chicago, still to this day, although we see the police department, right? We see what happens with that kind of stuff. So it's just they hide it more in the cities, right? And I hear the N-word a lot when I go back to Chicago.
Yeah. So we're nowhere near finished, obviously, in battling that. And boy, is Trump a great example, and his supporters a great example of how far we still have left to go. Okay.
You know him from the Axis of Evil comedy tour and Friday After Next. And now get his hilarious comedy special, I Come in Peace. That's right, Maz is back, and he's doing his own voiceover for this commercial.
Eugene, you notice how they all started clapping right there? You see how they all started clapping? See, we love to celebrate life. We love to dance. A lot of people in the West don't know the people from that part of the world, Middle East, like to dance and laugh and celebrate. I swear, when I did the Axis of Evil comedy tour, it came out on Comedy Central. I went online to see what people were saying about it. I ended up on the Sean Hannity website. It's a conservative website. One guy wrote another guy. He said, I never knew these people laughed. Because think about it, you never see, Middle Easterners laughing in American film or television, right? Maybe like an evil, like, whoa, I will kill you in the name of Allah. Whoa. But never like, ha, 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 ha. We love to laugh. We love to dance. Oh, my God. You saw, they just started clapping. Wherever we are, if we hear clapping, we have to dance. We could be on an airplane and the pilot has said, everyone fasten, we're about to land. Someone starts clapping, I have to dance. I can't. He's clapping. Try it. Next time you're landing, just start clapping. Some Middle Eastern guy will get him. We love to dance. The U.S. said they wanted to win the hearts and minds of the Middle East, so we attacked. We shouldn't have attacked. We should have sent over clapping troops. Just put them anywhere there's any trouble. Have them start clapping. The fighting will stop. Sunnis and Shiites killing each other in Iraq. Just go and clap. It'll stop. They'll be fighting. They hear the clapping. I have to dance. I kill you later. I'm dancing. I can't kill you right now. I'm dancing. Next week, I call you, then I kill you. We call you. We make it. It's in the blood. Eugene, you ever been to one of our parties? You ever been to the Persian party? Okay, here's my advice to my Swedish friends, my white friends. Oh, if you've never been to a Persian party, here's the advice. If you ever go and you don't want to dance, get out of the room. Because they will track you down. You could be hanging out in the corner and be like, oh, look, the Persians are dancing. Whatever, I'm just going to hang out, have a pistachio, relax. Look, Eugene, come on, Eugene, come on. Like, no, I don't feel like it. Eugene, I don't feel. And then they start a chant, which basically translates to Eugene must dance. Eugene must dance. Yeah, they go, Eugene bayad berakhse. Eugene bayad berakhse. Yeah, you see that? You see that? Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I'm trying to make a point. They want you to dance right now. That's how crazy. There you go. Oh yeah. There you go. Look, beautiful. I love it. Yeah. I love it. Yes. That's how we roll. Did you see? With the clapping, you said you never danced, but you were dancing Persian. It's in the rhythm. You're like, oh my God. It's fun, man. We celebrate life. And it's not just us, the Arabs too. The Arabs, you guys celebrate too. If you ever go party with the Arabs, what you're gonna wanna do is you're gonna wanna rest your hands for like a month before you go. Because the rest of the world, they clap like this, okay? The Arabs, they take all those years of fighting and oppression, being in the sun. Eugene, ready, Habibi? Yeah. Yalla. Oh my God. I love having a mixed crowd, man. And like I was saying, I married an Indian woman and woo. Yeah, man. It's funny because she grew up in America, so she doesn't do the no accent, you know? My father-in-law has it. Every time my father-in-law comes, hello, Maz. Nice to meet you. Is that a letter in your language? Sounds like he's playing the santur. Nice to meet you. it's funny, we've met before, but every time he sees me, he says, nice to meet you. Again, I think that's a direct translation, you know, because I tried to correct him. I go, sir, we've met before. And then he tries to cover up by acting poetic. He goes, yes, but every time I see you, it is like meeting you again. Roses are red, violets are blue. Hello, Maz, nice to meet you. So I'm Iranian, my wife is Indian, our nanny is Guatemalan, our kids are confused. They don't know who is who or what is what, I swear to God. Like, they spend more time with the nanny than they do with us. Like, I think that they think that the nanny is their mother, me and my wife are the nannies. I swear, my son's 3.5 now. Every night when the nanny's leaving, he's got a Guatemalan accent when he talks. Once he's leaving, adios, mama. I'll see you later, man. I'm gonna hang out with you two losers again. Adios, mama. His name is Dara, which is a Persian name, Dara, but his Spanish is better than English. The other day I go, Dara, come here. He went the other way. I go, amigo, venga. He came. He's like, what you want, fool? What you want? And it's crazy because all the nannies in where I live in LA, all the nannies are Latina. So all the kids speak Spanish now. White, black, Asian, all of them. I went to the park, there was a little white kid trying to get some water at the fountain. I wanted to help him. I go, hey kid, you want some water? He goes, agua. I go, water, agua. I go, water, agua. I go, okay, gangbanger, agua, take it easy. But here's what's crazy is the nannies were singing a song with the kids in Spanish, and it was a call and response. So they would say something and the kids would respond in Spanish, and I speak broken Spanish, so I was able to understand every like 10th word. And I was standing on the side, they were singing, I was like, this sounds like a good song. You know, the nannies were like, orale, orale. And the kids were like, por qué sí, por qué no? I was like, what a nice song. Until I heard the words, la revolución. Which means the revolution. I realized they're brainwashing our kids to help them take back California 15 years from now. And I went up to the nanny, I'm like, what's this song about? Don't worry, senor, have some agua, relax. I have to talk to the soldiers, I mean children. Porque sí, porque no. There's good people everywhere, man. All it takes is one person to mess it up for everybody. Like, I don't know if you guys remember this, a couple years ago in Times Square, there was a Pakistani guy tried to blow up a car bomb in Times Square. Now, I happened to be there that night doing shows just a few blocks away. And a few months before that in Austin, Texas, there was a white guy who flew his plane into the IRS building in Austin, Texas. And I happened to be in Austin, Texas that day doing a show. Yeah. As a Middle Eastern male, when you start showing up around a lot of these activities, you start feeling guilty at one point. I was watching the news, I'm like, am I involved in this crap? I didn't get the memo, what's going on? But the difference is, anytime a Middle Easterner or a Muslim does anything, a group will come out and tie themselves to that person, and we all start getting profiled. Anytime a white guy does anything, no white group ties themselves to that person. When the white guy flew his plane to the IRS building in Austin, Texas, every white group came out. They're like, well, that is one crazy individual. Even the Tea Party was like, he's not with us, he's not with us. Probably drinks coffee, that bastard. You might want to check the espresso party. When the Pakistani guy tried to blow up a car bomb in Times Square, the Pakistani Taliban came out and took credit for that failed car bombing. Why would you take credit for a failed car bombing? Why would you call a press conference and be like, we just wanted to say, we tried. And furthermore, it is the thought that counts. And in conclusion, win some, lose some. We always get tied with that, man. Like a few years ago, there was a guy, the Christmas Day bomber, this Nigerian kid. His name was Farouk Abu Babu Bubabu or Babubu, I don't know. He just got convicted in the U.S. and he was this Nigerian kid and he got tied to Al-Qaeda. We all start getting profiled. But he was one crazy individual. They all are crazy individuals. You gotta be crazy, blow yourself up, kill innocent people. He was one crazy individual. I could prove it to you right now. Where did he put the bomb? Anyone remember where he put the bomb? Anyone remember? In his pants, thank you, ma'am. Very nice way of saying in his underwear. It was actually in his underwear. Yeah, that was a very funny laugh. That was great. The bomb was in his underwear. He was a crazy individual. Because any man in his right mind, no matter how committed to the cause, would question that one move. Just on the way out of the Al-Qaeda meeting, the Nigerian guy, whoa, I have one question. I've got one question. I got one question. Yeah, I've got one question. Yeah, you say I'm going to blow myself up and go to heaven where there will be 72 virgins waiting for me. I think I will need my penis. Can we put the bomb anywhere but my penis? I like my penis. They actually say that they made the bomb look like his penis. They made it look like his anatomy because he was a black guy. Yeah. Al-Qaeda stereotyped. Someone in Al-Qaeda meeting was like, guys, come here, come here, come here, come here. You see the black guy? Okay, we take a bomb. A really long bomb. And 2 grenades. We put in his underwear, he go right through. And it worked, it worked. Security is like, oh, he's a black guy, he's well hung, let him go, let him go. This happens 3-4 times a day. You would have thought someone in security would have noticed something weird going on in his pants. You thought someone would be, whoa, whoa, abu, wabu, faruku, babu, hold on one second. Hey, Jimmy, come here for a second. Is that a clock on his penis? There's something ticking on his penis. My penis is so big, I put a watch on my penis.